Alright, so I've got a little bit of a predicament. If you guys remember a few videos back, I ended up JB welding my radiator because I punctured a hole in it, and it's been holding up really well. I thought that I was gonna want to change it out just because I didn't want to run it at the track, so I ended up picking up another radiator. I picked up this brand new OEM radiator from Nissan's. I was gonna put this one inside of the car, but after taking a look over the radiator and not seeing any leaks coming from the radiator itself, I decided that maybe it wasn't exactly the best move because I'm just going to be moving from an OEM radiator to another OEM radiator. The only place that I saw was leaking was this lower radiator hose, so I just tightened that up, I cleaned it up, and I'm going to see if that's all it was, if it was just like a loose hose or whatever. So yeah, I think I'm going to put off putting in this new radiator for a little bit. I'll probably just end up bringing it to the track just in case this JB welded radiator does blow up. That way I can just hot swap it at the track, won't be too much of an issue. So what we're going to do today is we're gonna get rid of this old ass crusty radiator fan, and we're gonna install an electric radiator fan on this. I picked up this electric fan from Marshmallow a little while back, and I've been waiting to install it until I get a new radiator. But since we're not putting in the new radiator, I'm just gonna put it on the old radiator. Installation of this fan should be relatively simple though. I'll go a little more in depth later, but the general idea is we're gonna use the old connector from the AC condenser fan that used to sit up front, and we're just gonna wire that up to the fan, and hopefully that should work fine to have the fan kick on when it gets hot. First things first though, we gotta get this old fan out of here. You guys already watched Kellen struggle with getting his out on his car, so I'm not gonna film that, so I'll get back with you guys after we get it out. Money. That actually came out a hell of a lot easier than Kellen's. Kellen fucking bashed his nose out trying to get his. I was able to do mine myself, so I don't know. 4-cylinder life. Alright, but now that we have that out, we can get to installing this electric radiator fan. This fan install is going to be pretty simple. We're going to be utilizing the old auxiliary fan connector to wire up to this. There are 3 wires in total on this connector. There's a blue wire, a brown wire, and a black and blue wire. The black and blue wire and the blue wire are 2 different speeds for the auxiliary fan. Since this fan can only run at 1 speed, we're just going to be putting those together, and then we will connect it to the blue wire on this Marshmallow fan, and then the brown wire, which is the ground wire, we'll just connect to the ground. All right, so first thing we're going to do, we're going to cut off this old connector. Sick. Now we should have our 3 wires. All right, cool. We got a little bit better access to those wires. Then we'll also cut these ends off of these connectors because I'm going to be replacing these with these connectors. I didn't want to like hardwire this fan into the car, so I'm just going to be using these connectors to make things extra simple. All right, sick. So I got all the auxiliary fan connector wires all stripped. So now we will put together the high speed and the low speed wires. And then we'll keep the ground wire separate, and it'll look something like that. All right, and then we'll connect the red wire from the connector to the blue set of wires, and then we'll connect the black wire to the brown wire. All right, we got those wrapped together, and now we're gonna hit this with a little bit of solder.
You got heat shrink?
Yeah, but I just realized.
Yeah, you can't put it around it because you're gonna put the connector.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll put electrical tape on this one. I'm gonna remember to put the heat shrink on the next one though. All right, sick. Now we can move on to putting the connector on the actual fan wires. I need to put a heat shrink on this real quick. Woo! Getting it this time. We're getting it this time. Where's my heat shrink? All right, sick. Got the heat shrink on the wire. Now we can get to soldering. Now remember, blue wire goes to red wire, and the black wire goes to your black wire. All right, now that it's all soldered up, we can slide over our heat shrink. Then we can blast it with a little bit of heat. All I have is a torch right now, so I'm gonna just try and use this. Oh yeah. Boom. Just like that. Got a little connection. I'm gonna wrap this one up with electrical tape real quick, then we'll give it a quick test. All right, so since we wired this up through the auxiliary fan connector, it should be able to kick on once the temperature from this sensor in the side of the radiator gets up to temp. So we can kind of simulate that now that we have everything hooked up. We can kind of simulate that by just using a little bit of a jumper wire to complete the circuit between this connector. So once you find which 2 you have to connect, you just connect it up. Oop. And there you go. All right, now that we got everything wired up, all there's left to do is mount the fan to the radiator. I went over to Cut Rate and I picked up this little fan mounting kit. It's kind of just like these weird little zip ties with like these foam pads, and they just go straight through the radiator and secure the fan to the radiator. Oh yeah, that ain't going anywhere. Alright, so I cleaned with the wiring a little bit, just secured this part to the fan shroud itself, and then I have it just kind of all tucked over there behind the headlight. I'll probably clean up the wiring a bit more later, but like, goddamn, there is so much extra space at the front of this engine bay now, and this electric fan just looks so good sitting in there. I'm super happy with it. And it seems like it's pushing a hell of a lot of air, so I don't think I'm gonna have any problems with cooling for a little while at least. Alright, but I think that's gonna do it for this video, guys. I hope this video kind of helps you out if you're looking to install an electric fan on your E36. But I hope y'all enjoyed, I hope y'all have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next one.